papers was published in 1979 is still being cited in 2020. So I feel very proud and humble to say that a paper which was published as back as 1979 is being cited till 2020. But fate has ordained me not to be in the field of academics. So after that I left science, but science has taught me one very good thing, that in every day, in all our endeavors, you can look into any issues with a very rational outlook. Indicated that vitamin C helps in wound healing and steroid retards in wound healing, but micro doses of steroid assist in wound healing. And it was a very old paper of 1954 vintage, and even now that paper is still being cited in academic circles. I have not gone through the book, but this book will motivate the younger generation. And I was pretty impressed with the young scientist 𝗕𝗄𝗏 of the Indian Statistical Institute, who is currently in USA undergoing a series of lectures. Then we have got Professor Khetri Rajan's son Augustine. Then Raghumani is there, who is with Bach. And in Kerala, Suez Kumar, who did his PhD in Indian Institute of Science, and he was in Florida for some time. So we have got a very a crop of brilliant minds who are working in not only India but outside the country, contributing towards the advancement of science. One thing the current crisis has given me is that we have got linked with the diaspora. Suez, I knew him when I was in the government in 2015 or 16, when he was doing his PhD. We again got connected. After that, then Jiten Khwaragpam, at that time also, we got disconnected, but this crisis have forced the diaspora to reconnect with their native state of Manipur. And that is one advantage. And the knowledge, the ideas, the experience these youngsters had is tremendous. Their approach toward life is also different from ours. And the skill they have attained in their field of expertise, if they can come back and bring back their expertise and skills, I think Manipur will prosper. I think Professor Nimai's idea of bringing out his book basically is to inspire the younger generation to go towards science, because now the focus is now on the professional courses like medicine, like engineering. This crisis has taught us that every subject is equally important. We have not been able to counter the narratives because we have got very few good historians. We have got very few good sociologists who can challenge the narratives that has been put up. And I do hope that brighter students go towards social sciences, humanities, and not only in science, and even because the applied science is another thing, the advancement, the academic benefit is huge, but if we don't do basic science and mathematics, then we'll be nowhere. Why some of the countries are most advanced is because they have invested heavily on basic sciences, and without a basis of basic sciences to add on becomes much more difficult. China have invested heavily, and the output of China on theoretical physics, and even in management, Professor Jeevan is there on backward and forward linkages, some of the works they have done are outstanding. Korea have done excellent work on social experiments like your community democracy and all. So these are areas which we need to learn so that we can try to replicate in our state. About the education system, Amoba had mentioned about the education system. When I was director of SCRT, the main focus during the second national education, this recommendation is to reduce the load of the school bag. The idea is both physical as well as the mental load to be reduced. Because when I did a survey, I found that in class 1 in Germany, they are taught only up to 1 to 10. Here we are teaching the students up to 1 to 100. And you can see the pressure that is built up on the young kids' mind. So that a very scientific approach needs to be made. And about the school education, the lesser is said, the better. But I used to insist on one thing, because there are many, even in this university also, who says that the school education system in Tripura is much better in Manipur, because 94% of the students are catered by the government school and only 6% are catered by a private institution. Whereas in Manipur, 60% is catered by the private schools and only 40% are catered by the government school. You go to any national or regional institution in the Northeast, you will always find a Manipuri among the faculty, among the scientists. You will hardly find anybody from Tripura. That indicates that the school education system in Manipur is comparatively better than many of the northeastern states, despite the fact that it is catered to by the private institution, which no doubt is a costlier proposition. You go to any institution, whether starting from Rajiv Gandhi institution to this Nereus, then you go up to the south, up to the University of Tripura. You will find in every institution there is some Manipuri, whether it's Mizoram, whether it is in IIT, Guwahati, you will find. Because at least we lay the foundation. But unfortunately, the overemphasis on medicine have destroyed any other subjects. And I do hope that Professor Nimai edited book, Inspiration from the Scientists of Manipur, will ignite the young minds and make choices by the kids to go towards study in science. And that will make our state a much better place. With these few words, I thank the organizers for giving me an opportunity, and to Professor Nimai for inviting me to this function, because I am one of the very few who are not from the academics who are present here, even though I try to be in touch with most of the academics whenever I don't know. In fact, I asked Professor Vishwanath, what is the pakka scientific name of 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏? So he says that, 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 is the fingerling of 4 or 5 species, but the genuine one is 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, and I still remember it. I studied like Professor Kumar under Vajra Sinha, and at one time I was remembering more than 1,000 scientific names in botany. You name any damn Manipuri plant, I would be able to give the scientific binomial name anytime. But with age and with lack of practice, I have forgotten. But I still remember more than 100 scientific names.